start here. Hey, what's up, everybody? I got me, and it's me and TJ tonight. Why don't you come up closer to the mic so people can hear you talk? Keep coming. All the way up. All the way up. All right. Let's see. Can you talk? You're going to have to talk louder than that.
Hi.
Okay, without yelling. Hey, what's up? Thanks for the follow. Appreciate you, Ryan. Hey, welcome to our first little podcast type deal. Um, Ryan have to let me know if that sound came through. Hopefully it did. Didn't come through on my end. Usually it does. So, but me and TJ, we're gonna talk about Modern Warfare 2 beta. Appreciate it, Ryan. Thank you. Um, I think TJ and I had a pretty good time playing it. Did you have a good time? I know you didn't get as much time as I did.
No, it was very fun.
I had to talk in here and you had to talk.
I had a very fun time. I enjoyed it.
There you go. All right, good job. All right, so don't be afraid to use your deep voice and sound as sexy as you possibly can. Okay. All right. No, and I didn't hear an alert for the follow. Oh, okay, hold on. Let's see here. This is go figure alert box. Boom. Hopefully that works. Okay. I know I didn't hear any sound for your oh no as well. So let's see. I'm always learning more and more as do this browser alerts. Not for the got the. All right, on cool. Thank you. Well, the sound alerts is giving me a error for some reason. Or sound alerts. Oh no. All right. Well, we'll see what happens. If not, I'll mess with it later. But the alert box should work now, so be able to hear people. All right. So let's talk. Let's talk the new map. How excited are you for the new Warzone?
I'm very excited.
Maybe we should do two mics. Have one for you and one for me. Maybe that'll work better. Let's try. Let's try that. That way, you can hear me and they can hear me, and you can have the mic and you can look super cool. Yeah, I can have a mic on my headset, and then you can have a mic, and then we could rock this thing. Try it this way. All right. Talking there. There you go.
Yeah, I'm very excited to play. Cause I don't know. It looks cool.
Looks cool.
Yeah. I noticed they have some of the old maps like airport and cemetery.
Hmm?
They kept the cemetery. It looks like right there.
They then put a cemetery in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can't comment about how you were like, oh no, they put a another airport in there.
I'm not.
You're having all kinds of trouble. So anyway, let's switch over to our.
What do you think that middle that's like one spot of like brown? What do you think that is?
You talking about the
Observatory right there. There's like a big brown
Oh.
spot. It's like poop.
Uh, okay, you're talking about.
Little spot. Yup, right there.
So that's the observatory. Looks like maybe hills.
Yeah,
It looks pretty cool.
it looks like they're out in like the desert or something. like you see around, like on the top. Well, I see some hundreds at the beach, maybe, like off the or something.
So I think it's gonna be very similar to what we've been playing. There's gonna be some desert, obviously,
Yeah.
and then you're gonna have some ocean, and then you're gonna navigate across. So it'll be kind of cool. All right, so that's the new map. Based on what we played
Yeah.
for the beta, I think it'll be pretty good. So let's um, talk the new all the beta that we had. Um, all right, first things first for the beta. Had the Gunsmith, and the Gunsmith was kind of a new idea that they came out with this year, and they came with that tree. It was a little bit confusing when it first came out, but the guns looked really good. So I think that'll be good. So one of the big things that TJ and I got the advantage of was we pre-ordered it on PlayStation, so we got early access before everybody else did, and console play was great, and it works good for streaming because we were able to set up a dual PC setup. But I think PlayStation and console players getting it first was awesome. One of the complaints I heard from those who had the PC was footsteps were too loud or too quiet, or they couldn't really mess with their audio. For console, audio was pretty good. Did you have any issues with your audio? Did you
No,
thought it was
I
good?
didn't. I didn't have it.
Okay. So we thought we thought audio was good. So let's talk the open beta as far as the rewards go. I got to level 30. What did you level? Did you get to? 19?
Wait, like you know.
Oh, right. So TJ's talking about the actual the user interface. We had some issues as far as being able to communicate as a team. We would turn a party chat on and whatnot, but for some reason it was something between me and TJ. I don't know if it was just a local thing because we're on the same internet, or we just had our settings set wrong. I'm not sure. Ryan from chat says he didn't have any. I don't think I had a bad of a time with the audio. Well, that's good. I know several other people. Uh, the big thing was complaints of not seeing people and hearing people around them. I know for us on console PlayStation, I felt like the footsteps were just everywhere all the time. It did a pretty good job at least being like if they were behind me or in front of me, but overall, I think the enemy's footsteps could have been louder and my steps could have been a lot quieter. So I've never been so focused on footsteps in a Call of Duty game before. It was sort of hard for people to sneak up behind. So I think TJ got to like what you said, like level 18 before 19. So TJ was able to unlock. Let's see, that means you're able to get the skin then at least. You weren't able to get the blueprint for the gun. But hey, you did get the side weapon, the side impact, which is pretty cool. The skin was pretty cool, so you'll be able to get that one right off the bat when the game comes out. I want to take a moment and just talk about the Scar. If you got to level 30 and you were able to take advantage of playing with the Scar, it gave you such an advantage if one, you remember to play with it because it was kind of hidden. Once you get to level 30 and playing with these other guns for a while, you just completely forget that you got this one unlocked. There wasn't like a huge announcement alert in the game. Hey, I got the Scar now. But the Scar was a great gun. Little recoil, had a red dot sight, which we had played with a green dot sight the majority of the game. So playing with the red dot was really nice. The Scar had minimal recoil compared to say the M4 here that we're showing now. So what did you think about the guns? Which gun was your favorite? You're gonna have to talk louder right here.
My favorite gun was probably the Hurricane, the M4,
Okay.
maybe.
I know you like the Hurricane a lot. I know you like that one a lot. I think I've heard multiple times he just like, this is a great gun. This is my favorite one by far. So, M4 is pretty much standard. Like I don't think you could really get past the M4. I mean, you weren't really gonna get much chance to play with anything else, especially that lower level until you get higher up. So, Did you try the Lockman, the single shotguns like the F-Tac or anything?
I
No,
didn't. Shotguns.
no shotguns either.
Mm.
Shotgun was super OP. I know a lot of people did not like the
Yeah.
shotguns. Some of the guys that like to be a little bit more complained about that it was the shotguns were just too OP, and they were deadly. Shotguns were super deadly up close. So, um, that being said, did you think you could get around the shop pretty easily and figure out how that whole thing works?
Yeah. Yeah. But in Warzone, the damage was on the second bar, so I kind of got confused when I went back to Warzone.
Oh, you're
Um,
talking about up here.
Yeah.
The actual like
Yeah.
readings. So yeah, it's got damage, fire rate, range, accuracy, mobility, and handling.
Oh, and it has recoil control now.
Yep. Something that you weren't used to seeing.
Yeah.
Okay. So, today, I took advantage of. You're fine. You're fine. Keep it there. Today, I took advantage of watching J God a little bit, and he talked about some of the guns. So I want to run that through, guys, real quick. So this is J God's list of weapons and how they kind of broke down. So, hopefully, you guys can see. His ratings. So, all right. So, his best ratings, and he ran through this with his community. He went to MP5, which I don't know if you got to the MP5
No, I
or not.
didn't.
I did get to the MP5. Really good gun. Do agree with the S rating on this one. The Hurricane made an S rating. I don't know if I really agree with that one. I think it was good, but I don't think it was dominant to be an S. I would give it a solid, maybe A plus. The next is a Scar. After that's the M4. I don't think the M4 is an S.
I think it should like that part maybe.
Okay, in the A levels.
Yeah.
Okay. So TJ's saying A for the M4. I agree. The next is the Signal 50 cal, which is the only real shotgun, the only real sniper that we got a chance. And I don't think personally this sniper was that good. Multiple times I'd get straight headshots at 75 meters and it wasn't a one shot. So I think that one's super overrated. Next for the A tier, he's got the shotgun, the Lockwood MK2, which is the marksman rifle, then the Fennec, which we couldn't edit, and then we had the 74U AK 74U.
I loved that one. That was a very good.
AK 74U.
It was a good gun for cloves.
Okay. Yep.
Maybe
SMGs.
medium range.
Yep. Very accurate. Yeah, and you're right. It was very good for a medium range gun. I agree, for being an SMG.
I think it's actually an AR. Actually, I think
The
the
74U.
yeah.
I think it's an SMG, but that 74U is a W. Ryan said. Thank you. Totally agree with you. 74U is a good short range gun. It was good for mobility, but that eventually you'll be able to turn that stock and turn it AK. We think.
They had very little recoil too, I think.
It did. You're right.
Yeah.
Very little recoil. We couldn't edit it, so I wonder how good or bad it could be once we have a chance to actually edit it. Next is the Lockman, the 5.56. That's the assault rifle for the Lockman. I like that one. I think an A rating is an accurate rating. Very little recoil. It was fun. It didn't. I don't think it had the firepower. Maybe it was the M4, but it didn't have the recoil the M4 had. So that was nicer.
And the Fennec was pretty good too.
Yeah, did you play with the Fennec?
I watched you.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I was.
I like the Fennec, but it didn't have the. It had too much of a kick, and it kicked through too fast through the magazine. Again, you're gonna need a larger magazine, I think,
Yeah.
just like it was in Modern Warfare.
Yeah.
Is there something in your shirt?
No.
You got itchies?
I have a mosquito bite on my arm.
Okay. Everything else after this is I totally agree with. You got pretty much all the LMGs, a couple of the marksman rifles, like Glock marksman rifle. Then for not good at all,
M16 off.
M16. Yeah, did you play the M16?
Yeah.
Yeah, TJ was not good. I really hope the M16 could have been good, but the recoil on the M16 was super rough, and it was inconsistent as far as damage done. And the last is the Seiken M63 Bravo. So, no. So that being said, here's my ratings for it, based on what they said. So pretty much, like I said, the Hurricane gave it an A, gave the M4 an A, and gave the sniper rifle a B. I'm sure there's gonna be more stuff out there, but being it's the only sniper rifle, it makes sense they would mark it as an S. And then I put the AK-74U as kind of an A plus. I feel like it's not quite to be an S based because the M4 was so good if you actually like leveled it up. So, what do you think? You agree with that?
Yes, I agree. I agree.
All right. We're gonna have to get you a real boom mic, so we have to like try to swap this thing back and forth. Okay. So let's get into. I want to talk about. Here's some of the moving around the gunsmith and the tree. So if you don't understand how the tree works, you have your base weapon, and then from there, let's go back to this tree real quick. So you've got the base weapon. And from the base, being this for this example is the M4, you can then get the FTAC Recon, which is the marksman. Then from there you get the LMG, and then you can unlock the M16, and then the Hurricane. So that all of that comes from the receiver, right? What do we call it? We call it the from the receiver. So the M4 receiver is what you are building everything off of. What you level up on the M4, all those attachments that can then be applied to the LMG and the to everything else in the tree. The FTAC also has different attachments that you can level up within the weapon, and then those can be then applied to the M4 or any other weapons in the tree. What's your question?
So if you use the M4, then you get to unlock every other gun, basically.
Yeah, if you use the M4 and you level it up to, say, I think it's like 16. I think I opened it up here. I don't. If you level up the M4 to like level 12, then right here. So if you level up to level 12, then it opens up the FTAC Recon. And then if you level the M4 up to level 16, it opens up the Icarus. And if you level up to level the M4 up to like level 20, then you get the Hurricane. So you level up weapons that way instead of unlocking them for doing 20 slides with a gun in order to get the best SMG. Now you just unlock the M4. The M4 levels up, and as it levels up, you unlock all those other weapons, and then all those attachments you'll be able to unlock through all things. So I think right now the positive from that is it's going to be easier to level up weapons because you can get all the attachments within the family tree. The downside is now if I want that, if I want some sort of rip that the Icarus has, now I have to play with the Icarus in order to put that on my M4. I'm not a fan of that. At least that's how I understand it. So if I had to play with the Icarus to get the best hand stock or the best butt stock, now I'm going to have to play with the Icarus in order to put it on the M4. I'd rather just level the M4 all the way up and be done with it and say I'm going to play with that. Because I'm never going to play with the Icarus. I probably won't play the M16 unless I make it better. Now that's how I understand it. I could be wrong, but that's how I understand it. At least based on the beta, that's what it looked like. I couldn't put certain things on my guns because I couldn't level up so far. Now, in the beta, you could only level the guns up to like level 20 or something like that anyway. So you couldn't level everything up. All right. So that's the gunsmith. Just real quick, what did you think about all the perks? Yeah.
I don't. I think overkill was good. I don't know what other perks I used, but I knew I had overkill.
So the perks seem good. I wasn't a fan of the way you have to earn your perks now. I can't just start the game off with my 5 best perks. I had to wait for certain things to warm up, and I think Call of Duty did that to give the casual player per se the opportunity to give them the opportunity to actually have a chance to win some games, and I think that's cool. But at the same time, like, man, Call of Duty's been out for a long time, and I know they're gonna make some changes, and I'm okay with some changes. But it'd be nice to have, all of my perks, especially the fast hands to reload my weapons, or make it a perk on the gun, because reloading a weapon for me, that's always been a main perk for me. I know a lot of people were frustrated with the. There was no serpentine, not in here, but there's the one where you die and you get a chance to come back to life. People weren't a fan of that one. Oh, Survivor. That's the one where you get to come back to life. That was not anybody's favorite. Yeah, but it's like if you go for a kill and you're gonna get a kill, you don't want to sit there and have to shoot somebody again. Back in 2000 and whatever the first Modern Warfare was, there was the martyrdom, and that's kind of how I look at this. When you get shot with a martyrdom, you would drop a grenade when you died, and if someone ran near you, you'd blow up with a grenade. And people didn't like that back then, and that's kind of how I look at that perk. So overall, I have no real complaints about the perks. I'd be super nitpicky if I complain about the perks, but I'm okay with a new challenge of trying to level up my perks in order to.
Wait, I had resupply too.
Resupply?
Yeah, I like resupply.
All right. So let's get into some of the gameplay. So right off the bat, I want to take a minute here to talk about gameplay and the maps. So map design, I thought was great. Graphics, great, no problem there. And I think everybody can agree that the game looked pretty. But they did something new, and I think this is new. At least everybody talked like it was. But I thought we've always played with skill-based matchmaking in Call of Duty. This is like the second game I played in the beta, second or third game, and I end up going for 15. I got a 15 kill streak, and I was getting those streaks like right off the bat, pretty easily, no issues. What about you? Did you get kill streaks pretty quick?
Yeah, I got like maybe 10 kill streak, maybe 5.
Oh, that's good. That's good. So, but I noticed after after the first day, I came back and I played the next day, and it was a completely different game. Like, the people I was playing against were not the same level of people I was playing with the night before, because I was going for 5, 6 kill streaks, 15, like I said, and then the next day, boom, all of a sudden, I didn't have the kind of kill streaks that I had the day before. And I was like, what am I doing wrong? Am I changing something in my settings? Did something happen? Did everybody get better overnight? And no, more people got into the pool, and we got that skill-based matchmaking going. So after that, my kill streaks and kill streaks definitely dropped. My KD dropped a little bit, I'm sure, but it definitely was more competitive instead of me running around. I mean, like, this dude's not even shooting back at me. So there's that. So anyway, lots of different modes in here, and we're going to kind of show gameplay from everything. But we had domination, we had to try out all your domination, team deathmatch, search and destroy. Oh man, talk about search and destroy. I want TJ to tell you guys, I didn't put any search and destroy gameplay in here. I think everybody knows what search and destroy is, but I want TJ to tell you. Now get this, okay? TJ's 10. He did not get Modern Warfare 2019, and even if he did, that's 3 years ago, so you would know at 7. He would not have been. yeah, I don't think it's something he'd been into. Like he was on to Roblox when 2019 came out. So, and we tried to play Call of Duty together at one point when he was 8 or 9, and the concept of Call of Duty tactics and all that kind of stuff just wasn't there. Now he has learned a lot. We played some Apex together back in in the last year,
Back in my day.
and which is not as, I don't want to say sweaty, but it's not as competitive, and you have a little bit more TTK, a better TTK, and he learned some tactics with me, and he came into Call of Duty, and now I'm pretty sure that my buddies that I play with on a daily basis rather play with TJ than play with me. So that being said, I want TJ to tell you guys what his experience was with Search and Destroy, being that he's never played Search and Destroy on Call of Duty ever, and I think veteran players would know kind of where this is going to go. So here.
Dude, Search and
You're gonna have
Destroy.
to talk louder.
Search and Destroy was so toxic, and people were calling each other like gay and stuff.
Let's not use words. Just
They,
were
they were
using
just being
slander.
they were being really bad and mean and oh yeah, and I was singing a song. It was from like what was Kerbit the Frog, and then somebody just like shut up, and I was like, oh. I was just singing a song, and they were just, man, shut up, kid. Like, okay, yeah, that was kind of mean.
So yeah, when they say Call of Duty is back, lobbies are definitely back. I remember playing 2019, and I was like, man, these lobbies are kind of soft in the sense that like people don't really say, excuse me, a lot of negative things. Like there wasn't all that trash talk that we had growing up. Me being 35, when I was playing 18, 19 years, 19, 20, the lobbies were super aggressive, and you can't say the things you can say that we said back in the day when we were kids, growing up playing. So, TJ got quite the experience playing Call of Duty, Search and Destroy. So we played a couple rounds in that. Unfortunately, yeah, they weren't being very nice. One thing I saw Call of Duty's doing, and I don't know if you guys saw this, even Dr. Disrespect talked about this, is that Call of Duty is focusing on harassment and just name tags and people's audio comms, and you have to sign an agreement when you first get into the beta, which was, I won't say things I'm not supposed to say. I'm going to be respectful of each other's players and whatnot, which is cool. Now, I've heard of people getting banned by saying things that are inappropriate, getting reported, and I think that's cool, especially in the kind of world we're in, when there's so many people out there that do have issues with the cyberbullying thing. At the same time, I think it's kind of the community that we're in, but we kind of need to change that. And just, remember that at the end of the day, there's a real person on the other end of this mic, and they may be having a really bad day. At the same time, though, the person at the end of the mic, they need to chill out, and the same person is hearing the words and you're like, it's just a game. These guys, have no impact on my life. So TJ says get a therapist. So anyway, just want to talk some gameplay in here. I think a lot of people have seen and has been a huge topic of conversation, has been how the rattiness of Call of Duty, this one, due to the TTK being so fast, of how it became super ratty. And I think, like I said, this is gameplay like right after the beta came out. Like as soon as we got a chance to get on, me and TJ were on the beta playing like right away. So I noticed the way that people play on day one is drastically different than how they played on day 9 or 10. People were moving around, having moving around, not ratting, not sitting in corners waiting on. It's a new map, so people don't know where all the choke points are. But there was a lot more movement, attacking the way you would typically see people doing it in a Call of Duty game, and it changed over the week that we played the way people played. So this is a team deathmatch here at the on Farm 18. So we're using the M4 and the Cinder Recon I might skip forward a little bit on this.
Wait, I have.
Yeah, Tito got something. Okay, what you got?
Guys, don't dolphin dive. It does not make you any faster at all.
Dolphin diving.
It doesn't make you any faster.
Have you ever played Call of Duty with dolphin diving in it before?
No.
So I think some people might know where I'm going with that. Like I said, he doesn't play Call of Duty for the first time, and he doesn't know what dolphin diving is. Now, to be honest with you, I think, and chat, you're going to tell me if I'm wrong, but I think dolphin diving was a Black Ops 4 thing. I don't remember. I don't know for sure. I personally haven't played Call of Duty with dolphin dive, and if I did, forgive me, I never used it. Even in here, I don't dolphin dive unless I'm diving even to an objective. That makes sense, but to like jump around a corner and dolphin dive, you're literally throwing yourself out there completely to land on your belly for someone to shoot you, which I did multiple times. So,
Reason sometimes I dolphin dive is dolphin dive down the stairs or the escalators. It's really fun.
oh yes.
And then they just get back up like they're okay.
So, yeah, that's pretty much what we got as far as the gameplay goes. Now, some of the stuff that people had issues with on this one is it's too campy, which we already talked about, but it's too much of a military sim now and doesn't have the arcade feel to it, which I don't think I really agree with that conversation. We still have the perks, which like a Battlefield and a Tarkov don't have. I have not played Tarkov. I don't know what Tarkov is. But it doesn't, there's no perks in those games. There's no kill streaks. You have to run around and pick stuff up. So now this is multiplayer. This is obviously not Warzone. So we're looking at this through a lens of multiplayer. It's still Call of Duty, but yes, the TTK has increased, which I don't think is that big a deal. Do you think it was that big a deal?
No.
You know what I mean by TTK, right? Yeah.
Like
Time to kill.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think that was that big a deal. Camping, whatever. I've always found Call of Duty to be camping, especially like with original Modern Warfare. Like that's what a lot of people did. They camped. This whole concept, like when I first started playing Warzone in 2020, I was kind of a late player to Warzone. This whole idea of pushing a team, that concept to me was not known. Call of Duty was always one of, let's sit on this corner, let's wait for someone to come to me, and I have the technical advantage by waiting. That's not how Call of Duty played. I guess maybe in Vanguard or Black Ops. I didn't play either of those. I take it back. I played maybe 10 hours of Black Ops. Wasted money on that one. But even Modern Warfare, I didn't charge around the whole time. Very few. The last people I really remember like charging around was in original Modern Warfare. People run around with a stupid tactical knife and melee people in the back. Yeah. So
I like this. Tried to shoot them and you couldn't do anything.
exactly. So, all right. Well, let's talk about maps. I thought the maps, as far as how they were built, were pretty good. This is Farm 18. It's I don't think this is Farm 18. I think this is the shoot house. I don't know why this is why it says Farm 18. It's definitely the shoot house. I don't know what's up with that. Let's see here. We're gonna change this right now to the shoot house. I thought for sure it was called the shoot house, but no, you know what it is? It's called Farm 18. I don't know why. I thought somewhere it said shoot house somewhere. But anyway, this one I just stayed out of the middle. Don't go inside the quote unquote shoot house or the range. I just stay out of there and you're fine. This map was okay. I found this one to be semi aggressive. Brenberg Hotel. I really liked Brenberg Hotel. Mercado Las Llamas. Let's skip over to that one. So this one TJ says he loves this one. I did not. I did not love this one, and I'll tell you why.
But I gotta rebid all that today.
Super ratty. TJ says the rat house. The market here, very. There's like a little cove, and people hide in a little cove there. Did not like this one. Hard point's pretty straightforward. Everybody knows what hard point is. That little cove right there on the right. Do not like the cove. This here called it kind of like the bar or whatever. But then this here right here we call Rat's Alley, and that's the rat house. We call this the rat house, which is a cantina kind of. But I called that whole backside of the map, called the whole thing Rat Alley. And it quickly caught on because people would just sit in that house and watch both ends of the alley, and it was, especially when the game first started playing, that's where people went. There is like that little the trash truck, which is pretty popular. There's a little like step up back there by the trash truck that people like to hang out by. And I found that to be very annoying. And then people like to kind of camp behind this gate, right where this guy was. But overall, like this map, I think probably was my least favorite to play on because I wanted to keep moving around, but there was always somebody hiding on some sort of elevation. So, each of the small maps, I will say this, they did a good job that each one plays differently and plays differently for a different kind of player. So I'll give them kudos for that. Let's see here. All right, so that's Mercado Las Lamas. Here's that trash truck I was talking about. All right, we're back to the prison, the Brennenburg Hotel again. Bless you. Oh my gosh, did you fart in your mouth? Prisoner Rescue, I think, was a new mode. I don't remember ever playing Prisoner Rescue in past games, and like I said, I didn't play Vanguard and I didn't play Black Ops, but more than maybe a handful of hours. So, excuse me. Brandenburg Hotel, the Prisoner Rescue was pretty cool. If you down somebody, if someone downed your ally, you go and revive them at least one time. It's kind of like a dual capture the flag, kind of what it felt like, which is fine. And then Brandenburg Hotel, let's talk about the map itself. You got two sides. You kind of like this. I always called this the bar side. The opposite side I kind of called the hotel side. The kitchen was a very popular place to camp out in the kitchen, which is the back. And then you have the entrance. So I like this map. Played pretty big for a 6v6. Well, this is a 5-on-5, but played a little large. And there's some camping, but there's not like multiple levels for the camping. You're either going to lay on the ground somewhere or behind some little object, but you're not going to be able to get on top of something other than maybe in the back where the vehicles are at. You know what I'm talking about? Where you could kind of camp behind a vehicle. So,
spectating view.
All right, talk about it. What do you think?
I think that I don't really know what the thing on the left is. I think it's supposed to be like a helmet, maybe. And I don't know why they put it there. I don't know.
So I think what they were going for is a GoPro. You're fine. Is a GoPro cam type view. So you're looking at it from someone's side of their helmet, like say like right here. And you're looking out, so you're looking at it from the side. The one thing I don't know how I feel about the GoPro view. It's cool, but how are you supposed to report someone if they're cheating now? You can't tell if they're pre-aiming and zipping from one shot to the next. It's impossible to tell now. So I'm sure I've heard some say, "Oh, it's a cool view. It's awesome." Secretly, Activision, I think you did it so people would stop complaining that people are cheating. To be honest with you, and from a marketing standpoint, I mean that's pretty genius. Let's change the way people look at kill cams, and now you can't report someone for cheating because you can't confirm if they are or not. Kind of crazy. So, yeah. So the other thing too is that you can play a third-person mode now, which I think I played a handful of games. You play over the shoulder. You see the full character. That mode's pretty cool. Think of like the Division. I liked it, but I don't play Call of Duty to play third person. If I'm gonna play third person, I'm probably gonna pull up my Call of Duty mobile and play that. So, anyway, so that's a Prisoner Rescue. Obviously, we didn't do very well in this game. I think we ended up getting our butts kicked in this one. But pretty much defend. It's like capture the flag, pretty much. So people need to improve on how that goes. Yeah, see, we got our butts kicked. All right, let's talk Valderas Museum. This is Knockout. TJ says he hates this one. This map, very big, especially for a 6-on-6. It's probably maybe another 10%, 20% larger than the Brandenburg Hotel. It has really 3 avenues of access. You've got this far left, which is where I'm at now. Let's take this back. There's 5 avenues of approach. You have the far left, where there's like some sculptures and some changes of elevation. In the middle lane, you have a fountain, and in the fountain, there's 2 different doors on either entrance. One is looking towards an all-glass entrance. The opposite is the building that my team is in right here down below. And the way to get across that is either through that courtyard by the fountain or over this bridge that those guys were just on. That's really the main avenue approach. So then you have the far right, which takes you past all the buildings. There's really like one door, and you go through one little museum part. And to get out everything, you go up a little escalator. So this map, very hard to defend on, unless you're gonna like piece your team of 6, 2 on each avenue, or you'll just all charge and hope that you catch them. Because multiple times on this, as we're playing Knockout, or we played Prisoner Rescue, everybody would go the enemy team, all whole 6 of them would go to the left, and the rest of us would all go to the far right, and we wouldn't engage each other. And then what we do, would just sit there and we camp their spawn, which is where you have to rescue the character.
I think it's Prisoner Escape. I don't know.
Prisoner Escape, thank you. So this is that far left I was talking about, and then you like over this wall, kind of go by the fountain, or you go by this little sculpture and through all that maze. So, yeah, multiple times, and I think I probably do that here. I'm gonna go to the far left, and I'm gonna do is I'll go back to where the prisoner rescue is. I'm just gonna sit there and anyway. Knockout was fun. Prisoner Rescue was fun. Knockout, same thing. You can raise your ally. Anything else you want to talk about this one?
Nope.
I think we ended.
Oh yeah, there's this.
What?
There's this map. I don't know. City.
I think it's called Syed, maybe. And this is Invasion. So.
I like Invasion.
This was one of my favorite. This was one of my favorite maps. Invasion has 20 on 20, and then you get spawned in with 20 bots that help you. The bots are pretty dumb. They parachute in. Obviously, it's falling from the sky here. They parachute in, and they're really good at being a distraction for your enemy. The bots will hide behind vehicles, sit around a corner, and they don't really shoot at anybody until that person's already passed by them, or they're shooting at you. And let's say they have an M4, they're not going to do a full automatic pull on you. They're going to do a quick burst and say, "Hey, I'm over here. Hi, come shoot me because I'm shooting at you." Very rarely you're going to get killed by one of those unless a real player has been shooting at you and then they happen to engage you after you've like completely disregarded them. So, but they are fun to spawn kill, which is what I do periodically just to help with raise your score. So for this, it's like I think you need like 1,500 to score. You can see here I'm camping. I am literally taking out the bots as they come off the helicopter. Not doing very well with the F-Tech recon there. But take those guys out. They're worth like 1 point to make an actual kill. Versus a real enemy, a real player, it's worth 5. So This map is cool though. It is large, but you have 20 on 20. Multiple elevations. You can see the buildings here, 6, 7 floors tall. So you're not just running through the map going, okay, I'll be fine. You're constantly having to look in the windows, see who's on the roof, climbing a ladder from one building to the next. You could easily be shot down from an opposite building or from the ground. So it's not just easy peasy. So for here, this right side is pretty much open desert. The far left side here, there's like a amusement park, very similar to, I think, of Warzone and Vanguard with the theme park. Looks very similar to that. Couple of the tents there. It has a carousel or Ferris wheel. It has a Ferris wheel. I don't really like going to the left side. A little too congested. I prefer the more open side. I can see what's in front of me. And yes, those signs do provide great spots for snipers to sit up on and shoot from. I did use the sniper rifle a handful of times, and it was quite entertaining to shoot people down. I think it would be great once we had a really good sniper, because the sniper they gave us was dog doo-doo. All right. So we're going to skip ahead. All right. I'll be help me build this video here. You can't see her, but this is one of my favorite weapons. This is the Scar. Like I said, very low recoil, and it has the red dot, which is the only weapon I think we could unlock that had a red dot. Very low recoil and had a great TTK. Was much better than the M4. But this was, I think, my favorite map. I love the water in it. Swimming through it was cool. Like, they did a really good job with that. Yep. This map was really good. So, fortunately, like the beta is done, which is a bummer. I was hoping you could have gotten into this one, but yep. This one was by far, I think, my favorite. It really much reminded me of Battlefield and
Caldera.
Not Caldera. No, not at all. Man, I'm missing all my shots. Reminded me of Battlefield 4 and the carrier assault, I think what it was. And you had little tiny islands like this, like I'm on right here, right now, in a bay, and you would have to capture the flags. Once you capture all your points, then you could boat out to the carrier, an aircraft carrier, and then you would assault the aircraft carrier. That was by far my favorite map in Battlefield 4, and this very much had that feel. The water, the multiple buildings, the objectives were great. I preferred on this map to take Bravo. Whoever held Bravo was good. It was kind of on its own little peninsula, and if you could really hold people off from Bravo, to hold it down, you'd be doing pretty good. So the city is very intricate. Again, multiple levels. It doesn't have that 7-8 levels that I think is Saeed has. The buildings are much closer together though, compared to Saeed. So anyway, this is, like I said, this is some Scar gameplay, which I love playing that, and I think I actually got the MP5 with this loadout as well. So that was a great combo, the Scar and the MP5. Once you get to level 30 and you get those guns rocking together, it all came down to just making sure you hit your shots. You want to keep watching this here? Okay. All right. I want to see if I can get... I think I've got something maybe in the city, or... I don't think so. No, I pretty much hang around. All right. Last one. This map was pretty cool too. Santa Siena. I think it came in maybe the second or last day. And this one had some really good vibes. I only played a handful of times because it was only for ground war and invasion, and I only had like a day and a half to play. I think they released it like the second to last day, like when everybody was an open beta for everybody. You have on this far left side here with that red building, it's like a car, it's like an abandoned car lot pretty much, whatever happened. whatever war had been happening or battle pretty much stops. So you've got like a bridge here, and it's a high traffic highway. All the cars are completely stopped. It has some really intense battles in there. You can actually go underneath that bridge. There's another highway, so you can traverse top or to the bottom. And then there's several buildings to the far right over here with a little bit of a gully and just some huts type buildings. One floor, 2 floors, nothing fancy. And then on the far left side, it's kind of a little bit of a mall, where I'll throw in you'll see some gameplay here. But I want to take time, just as we get ready to wrap this up, to talk about some comments and what the community's saying about Call of Duty in general. So I think overall the feedback has been relatively positive. I found a couple tweets I want to share with you guys. So this one I got, and I just used random tweets. I just pulled up on Twitter and searched a couple hours ago and said, what do we got out there? This one's from Neox Temper Z. Talks about his best clip, but his overall game 8 out of 10. I would agree. What do you think? You think it's what would you, if you had to give it a score out of 10, what would you give it? The one that you've played majority of Warzone, you played Rebirth, you played Caldera, you played a little bit of Verdansk. What do you think?
Like all together, like
just this game, just the beta. What do you think your score would be? 8 out, person gives 8 out of 10. What would TJ, 10 years old, knowing that you play Apex, play a lot of, you play Fortnite, you play some other battle royales, some other multiplayer games. What would you give this game?
maybe 8.
You give it an 8 as well. I'm gonna go with a 9. Honestly, I think there's a couple tweaks. Again, this is the beta, but there's a couple tweaks, especially the UI, the user interface that drives me crazy. But I'm gonna give this a 9. So, TJ says he doesn't like the community being toxic. You're gonna have to talk to the community about that. And I'll tell you this: you're 10, playing with guys who are in their 30s. Your age group and bracket can change the culture. With kids your age, you guys can change the culture because you're going to be the ones that are carrying on the gaming community way after we're gone. So, next, this is from Dom. If this is what COD is going to be like for the future, I want no part of it. If I want to play a tactical shooter, really have to pre-aim, and I think I'd play Rainbow Six. COD is an arcade RNG game, not a military simulation. I beg you to listen to us. 2 parts here. One, actually, there's 3. 1. This is still he calls it an RNG game. I don't know it's not a random number generator game. So I'm not really sure where he's going with that, but I think he's saying that it's the arcade, right? I'm good. I agree with that. This Call of Duty is still RNG, and I still 100% agree with that. I don't think it's full military sim by any means. And then I think this is going to be the future for COD. Let's be honest, like the community as a whole, those who like military shooter games, we have been a dry spell since 2019, if not later than that. Really, I'll say this, since personally, I didn't play Black Ops 4. I did play Black Ops 3, and it was a little too futuristic for me with some of the perks, but I could go with it, and I played a lot of hours of that. Black Ops 2, I think, was probably the last time that I was like, I love this game. Now, Modern Warfare was good, but if you were to say, like, what was the last time you really fell in love with COD? Black Ops 2 was by far my favorite. And I think that this, for me, is on that level of how much I'm going to love this game.
I think when I was little, I played Black Ops 3, where I like shoot. That was, you had like gate guns like through the wall. It was like a trace. That I like that.
You know, I think the reason why I didn't like Black Ops 3 was because some of the weird things you could get for your kill streaks, like the flies on the ground, and the Tempest was your power up. Like you got like a power up, a cooldown. You had like an arrow arrow. Then you had the guy that would run around with spikes. Wasn't a big fan of like the superpower Apex typey thing that Call of Duty went to. And then of course I didn't play any of the Infinity War and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, Dom, I'm gonna have to disagree with you on everything except for your last part. I beg you to listen to us, and I think Infinity Ward is going to listen to us. I know we've already had some issues with people cheating in the beta. I hope that they will address that ASAP, because I will tell you this, Activision, open your ears, because if there's cheating in this game mode, if there's cheating in multiplayer, if there's cheating in Warzone 2, and you don't take action, I will never buy another Call of Duty. Ever again. I don't care how good it is. I think the community is sick and tired of the cheaters. You've got to do something about it. And if you don't, I'm pretty sure you're going to see a lot of people would be like, I don't care how good it is. I don't care if you can fix it. We're never coming back. And you're going to see a lot of people go to other battle royales and probably will just abandon you guys. I can tell you, I've seen what happened to the Battlefield community after just some like 4 or 5 crappy games in a row. Battlefield community is sick of crappy games, and I think you've done a good job, Activision, to bring people into a new game from Battlefield. You can bring them into the fold Call of Duty by doing a slight transition more to that military sim, maybe that Dom was talking about. You're on the right path here, but if you're going to let cheaters creep into your game, you know, I think it's really going to hurt your bottom dollar. So, anyway. All right, let's get through this. So, Dom, I think Activision is like, look, they talked about tomorrow we'll be taking action against cheaters and hackers. Awesome, thank you. They talked about, heard about on disbanding lobbies. We'll work on a few tweaks to increase the lobbies staying together. They talked about some of the crash on the Xbox and the PC and how that wasn't working. And they did all this stuff in the beta phase to fix this. I know when PC first came out, people were crashing dev airing after like 2 or 3 games. I'll tell you this, console players didn't have to worry about that. So that was nice. That console didn't have the same issues. But they fixed a lot of this stuff while the beta was still going so that we could play the beta. They could have just been like, you know what, screw it, we're going to wait till the beta is done and then we'll get to into the issues. No, they started working on that stuff right away. So I think that's good. One of the things was, hey, we got these new perks, right? And it's all new system to us. We're not really sure. We'll talk about this at the beginning. But they worked. They said, hey, overnight by weekend 2, we're going to reduce the cooldown time so you can get your 2nd and 3rd perks. Sweet. Thank you very much. I think that's awesome. They listened to the community and they said we can do that. One thing that they said they would not work to fix. What was it they said they would not? Man, no, I can't remember. They talked about fixing the slide canceling. They talked about fixing the, I think it was the the radar. I know a lot of us had issues with the radar if you were using a silencer or not using a silencer, how people don't show up on the red dot as on the mini map. They said they're not going to fix that. Whatever. I mean, if anything, it gives you opportunity to finally use a freaking muzzle that you never had a chance to work with in the past. So I'm totally okay with that. Whatever. So now I have to look in front of me instead of watching my mini map the entire game. Because honestly, that's what I used to do. I would just watch a mini map the entire game. Oh, there's someone in front of me? Okay, now I don't worry about somebody. Once I stopped looking at the mini map and started paying attention to what was in front of me, it was a completely different type of game. So, you know, improve or die. All right, let's talk about what iRant talks about. Pretty much he says, hey, I'm canceling the game. I'm canceling my pre-order. He's having some issues just getting into the game, and he posted that just what was that? Yeah, he posted that less than 24 hours ago. So hopefully he'll get his money back, and you know, I think him giving up just because he couldn't get logged in was kind of giving up too early. So Santa Siena, we're still here. So this is that far left side I was talking about with the gully and kind of the bank. So, overall, final takes. I think the beta went smoothly. I think the game will be successful. TJ and I are super pumped for the new one to come out, and just like Joshua Gutierrez says here in his tweet, goodbye, my love. See you in October. TJ logged in tonight after getting home from school and was very disappointed he could not get into the beta, being that it ended today at 1 o'clock. So he didn't cry, but he was quite disappointed. So, and honestly, tonight, I'm not really looking forward to going back to Warzone and trying to enjoy the game, knowing what the future holds for us. We got a taste of the future, and I think a lot of us like what we've seen, and we want more of it, and having to wait till October is going to be rough. But I will say this, bringing out the game 3-4 weeks from now, it gives them 3 or 4 weeks to fix some of these issues, minor issues, and I think they did a good job of saying, hey, we gave us enough time to go in and fix some of this stuff, and not, okay, we'll release the beta and then we're going to release the game in a week. No, then there's going to be no time to fix the game. And based on some of the other games, again, I'm going to go back to Battlefield again, Battlefield 2042. Battlefield 2042 was not ready to be released. It was easily 6 to 9 months, if not more, be ready to be released.
Shotgun or something.
What are you talking about?
It was like a rifle or something, and they're like, I'm trying to be realistic. Like when you shot it, something happened. I don't know what happened. It was about one of the
What game?
Battlefield.
I know this. I don't know anything about shotguns from Battlefield, but I will tell you, in Battlefield, I always played with a DMR, some sort of single shot marksman rifle, and I remember trying to shoot people at 75 meters, 100 meters, and they literally RNG'd the bullets in Battlefield. And you could be hit crosshairs right on someone's head, and the bullet would whiz right past to the left of their head. Okay, you line it back up again, and it shoots to the right of their head. So then, okay, like, well, now I'll adjust to the right, and guess what happens? Now it goes back to the left. What is going on with my scope? And I probably played for a week before realizing that what they had done is they said, to make it more realistic, we're going to change the trajectory of the bullets. We're going to put an RNG on it. I'm like, why do I even have a dot sight? I might as well just throw my hands up in the air and just shoot the gun in general direction of an enemy and hope that it hits them. That's how bad Battlefield was when it came out. Battlefield was so bad when it was released. We had no VoIP. We had no comms between each other. We played a mode where it was literally squads of 4, 6 squads of 4. We had to go and grab intel. Then we had to go and assault a drop point and be one of the two teams that could get on a drop helicopter to be able to exfil from the map. And you'd have to win multiple games in order to get like additional perks for your character. If you died and didn't exfil, you had to start over in order to get additional perks. I never won a game back to back. Why? Because your teammates couldn't talk to each other. So, yes, we have a user interface issue. And sometimes it's a little bit clunky in order to have a conversation. But at least we have conversations we can have a conversation to each other. And if I'm getting fired up, yes, I'm getting fired up because I think the Battlefield community was so frustrated with the game that when I see a game like this in a beta stage that is playable, and we as players that play Call of Duty are complaining about little things like, oh, people are camping. Dude, get better at the game. Maybe don't go that way next time. Maybe use that new grenade that throws through a wall and shoot the guy from the other side. Adapt to the changes of the game, come up with a new way to maneuver. Don't slide cancel. You know, we've got a couple different ways to move around. Stop complaining about the low stuff. This game could be so much worse. So much worse. Like I said, I never played Vanguard. I can't even imagine how bad Vanguard was. I just saw enough people complain about it. It's like, I'm not buying it. And I saw how bad Cold War was. I just couldn't get into it. So we could literally have a game right now where we couldn't talk to each other voice wise. We'd have a gun where literally the bullets are RNG when we aim down the weapon. We could have servers literally dropping all the time, and people and a company not even worrying about the beta to be like, hey, we're gonna take our time to make sure the PC players can get on and even try the beta. So I feel like Infinity Ward, hopefully at this point, is working on listening to us. So, yeah, exactly. All right, that's kind of my hot take, my frustrated moment. It just irritates me to death that I see so many people out here complaining about this game and give me a refund and this game's crap and how dare you change my game and blah 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 blah. Dude, out of the 10 people that we play with, one of them is frustrated with the game and like, it's trash. So I think you give this game easily a 9, easily give it a 9.5, and I think the community overall is at 90%. At least based on my small sample size, maybe 85% that are gonna like this game. I don't think you're having any drop off, and I think once Warzone comes out, there's nothing else like this on the market right now that's even comparable to say, you know what, I'm not gonna play a military modern weapons battle royale because I don't like little things like the smoke comes too much out of the gun when I fire, which they've already talked about fixing. So like we'll be fine. Like as a community, guys, we'll be fine. I'm gonna skip ahead here. I've talked about vehicles in another game. So we'll touch on it real quick here. Battlefield vehicles, indestructible, pretty much. Super OP, super fast. You get one. There weren't very many of them when I started. If you got one, you'd end up being able to run over the entire over everybody, and almost literally impossible to take out. I remember in 2042, literally hitting one with 3 rockets, and I don't think it even got to 50% damage. I'm pretty sure I can throw 4 Semtex at a tank. Obviously, you can only carry 2 if you have the right perks, and then if you have an ammo box or something, you could carry additional Semtex. But I'm pretty sure you could take a tank out here in 4 and shoot. You can even shoot people out of trucks, and you couldn't do that in Battlefield. So again, another thing we could be complaining about a lot more. I mean, we can take out tanks here, and the tanks are not going to be overpowered. And there's enough obstacles in this game too, where a tank can't just go from one side of the map to the other straight away. Like they have to move around some sort of vehicle, some sort of barrier, and there's choke points that we can set up with the tacticals that we're given. So, all right. That all being said, just got a couple more minutes here, and we're gonna wrap it up. So, it is SpongeBob coming up here. It's this guy's tweet. You want to see the tweet? All right. He begs. This is my favorite tweet that I found. Extend the beta, says Nick with 2 Ks. Yes, we wish the beta was extended at the same time. Like we know that they have to get on the servers to fix them. So for you, TJ, you got any final thoughts?
The beta was very good. I enjoyed it. I don't really have anything to complain about. I am a little kid, but I don't have anything to complain about.
Okay.
Very good.
Ryan's got a question. How do you feel about us not being able to try Warzone 2? Would you have wanted to try Warzone 2?
Yes.
Yeah.
But I don't care. The beta was enough.
Because he doesn't care. The beta was enough. Would it have been nice to try Warzone 2? You know, honestly, yes, I would have liked to, but let me say this, and I said this on stream earlier this week. If we would have had a chance to play Warzone 2, how many people would have played the multiplayer? And I think they being Activision, did a good job at not releasing Warzone 2 so that we could get into the multiplayer and test some things out. And all of us would have been playing Warzone. We would not have been playing the multiplayer. So I think that they did a good job at releasing this. I think you can address some of the general issues: weapon control, weapon balancing, weapon user interface, server capabilities, all that kind of stuff. I think the beta hit what was true. So Brendan says beta is a little kitty. I was wondering if people are going to leave or even like Warzone 2 if they don't like the movement. Honestly, like I said earlier, you're going to have to live and adapt to the game, right? Things change, and you're going to have to get better, right? You can't just hope and live and hope that everything is good to go. You're gonna have to get better at the game. You know what I mean? Like slide canceling wasn't even a thing, I think, until like maybe I started playing Warzone in season 4 of Modern Warfare 2019, and I don't think slide cancel was even a thing then. Someone just randomly said, hey, this is a great idea, and all of a sudden slide cancel became the thing to do. I never really did it. Ryan and Merck had said, true, I had fun either way, just like your son said. I feel like it was enough for me, and I can't wait for it. I agree with you 100%, Ryan. I think it was I think they did a great job, and I had a blast. I didn't really want to put it down. Shoot, I think I played till maybe like 1 o'clock last night, and I was like, I've got to work tomorrow. I don't want to. I didn't finish leveling up the Lockman. I think, don't quote me on this, but I think that the levels that we gained in the beta will then transfer over to the actual game, so I was hoping to kind of get a leg up on everything else. I don't think that happened. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. Yeah. So, what else? Anybody else there in chat got any other questions, comments? I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. I think we as a community need to give the thumbs up to Activision. I know we've really been pooping on them for the last year, and we need to kind of throw out maybe a little bit of a TJ says a thank you. Give them a little bit of credit would be probably nice. You know what I mean? So you guys got anything else out there in the land? I'd love to hear your comments. Tell me what you think. If not, we are going to post this on YouTube. So please, if you liked the video, you liked some of the takes, give us a like, drop a subscription if you'd like to, and leave some comments below. I'm sure me and TJ would love the opportunity to have a conversation with you and just reply to your comment. I'd love to find out what other people are saying. I'd like to know that if I'm not the only person that's thinking these things, because there's been so much negativity around the community regarding the game for no reason. And I think Activision's done a great job with it, and I think they need to keep it up. So I think the praise needs to be given where praise is deserved, and I'm all about giving them some praise. So yeah, give them a good old hoorah, one for the team. So all right. If there's no other comments out there, I appreciate you guys taking your time, checking out the video. Like I said, give us a like, subscribe, and come check us out on Twitter, on Twitch, untrainedpro_live. We're here, and we're also on TikTok as well. So Brennan says, I think the beta is the best. Yes, but the game will be so much better, right? We're excited for the game, but the beta was a lot of fun. So, all right. That being said, I'm gonna take a short break here, and I'm gonna put this little man to bed. I'm 30 minutes past his bedtime, so Brennan, you should see me talking to the squadsy. I'm leaving out ands and does, and he sits there and reads it, and he's like, I have no idea what this 35-year-old's saying. So you're good, bro. But yeah, I'm gonna get this little man to bed. I appreciate you being my special guest and helping me through and answering me some questions. So I've had some fun. I know TJ's a little camera shy sometimes, but it's been fun to do this with you. So you can answer. I can answer all your questions here on stream, and I answer questions out there for other people too. So, and Brandon and TJ and I are gonna have to get into your Fortnite customs again sometime. So I know that's up TJ's alley, Fortnite customs. So, all right, everybody, I'm gonna take a short break here, and I'll be back on later. So, thank you again. Have a good night.